The Houston Rockets got themselves an absolute steal in Kevin Porter Jr. Let's get into this. While in college, Kevin Porter had a lot of off-the-court issues with USC, but he was drafted 30th overall to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2019 draft. Porter had all the talent in the world and should have went higher in that draft, but the reason why he slid all the way to 30th overall was because of his off-the-court issues. These off-the-court issues seemed to persist with the Cleveland Cavaliers until they ended up getting fed up and sending him down to the G League. There was a few things that happened with Kevin Porter Jr. that made the Cavaliers pretty fed up with him, although he was very talented and has proven that. And for the Cavaliers, the last thing that set them off and ended up trading him to the Rockets was he had an outburst when someone took his locker, which honestly I feel I kind of understand where he's coming from. If I was in that position, I would probably feel a similar way if someone took my locker. But I guess for the Cavs, that on top of all the other antics he had in college and also with the Cavaliers, just set them off and they were done with him. This was a great opportunity for the Houston Rockets to acquire a young guy with tons of talent while they're rebuilding their team. The Rockets literally just traded James Harden not too long ago this season, which meant they were in full rebuilding mode and were trying to add up on young talent and draft picks. Luckily for the Rockets, they were able to acquire Kevin Porter Jr. for almost nothing. The Rockets only had to give up a future second-round pick for a really talented player like Michael Porter, who's a former first-round pick. In Houston, since they're rebuilding, obviously, Porter's going to have a ton of opportunity to play, and in the few games that he has played, he's shown that he's really talented and deserves those minutes. While with Cleveland in his rookie season, Porter only put up 10 points per game and 2 assists per game on 44% shooting, but ever since he got to the Rockets, he's been averaging 17 points per game and 8.3 assists per game on 40% shooting. This season, Kevin Porter has really improved his game, obviously, and he's turned a lot of heads. A lot of people that doubted Kevin Porter are now praising him due to his really good play. I think the Rockets got extremely lucky to find a player like Kevin Porter Jr. for so cheap especially, and he's still on his rookie deal, and I think he could be a part of the Rockets for years to come. I really do think that Kevin Porter could be one of the building blocks going forward in the rebuild for the Houston Rockets, and if they only had to give up a second round pick for one of the building blocks for years to come for the future, I think that's an amazing deal. Kevin Porter could clearly score, he's proven that he's an absolute bucket, but this season with the Rockets, he's also proven that he's a really good passer. Averaging 8.3 assists per game is extremely good, especially for a small forward, and if he can lead the offense from that small forward position, he would be really valuable for the Rockets. If the Rockets could continue to add young talent to this roster and also surround Kevin Porter with shooters all around him, I think that would be really valuable for his progression. It's been a really small sample size with Kevin Porter on the Rockets, but so far he's definitely impressed. And if he keeps his play up or even plays 50% of what he's playing at right now, honestly, he's been playing so well, he'll make the Cavs regret trading him for a second round pick especially. I really do like Kevin Porter's game. His scoring ability is very, very good, but I think obviously there will be up and downs with him. He's playing extremely well right now, but I don't know how sustainable that would be throughout the whole season. Overall, in the long term, I do think Kevin Porter will be a really good player for the Rockets, but the Rockets need to know that this is a process. He's still a really young player with some off the court issues, which I think they do know and will give him time to develop. With new players that the Rockets draft to put next to Kevin Porter Jr., I think they're in no rush to win right now. Obviously, they're rebuilding, so I think they can give them time, and this might be the perfect situation possible for a guy like Kevin Porter. I think this season they should really evaluate and give Kevin Porter all the opportunities possible for him to succeed and really evaluate if he's a really good player for them, and I really do think by the end of the season they'll think that he is, and I think he will be. Everybody in the league knows Kevin Porter as an extremely talented scorer in this league, but the big difference this season, in my opinion, is his passing ability and his ability to run the offense at that small forward position. So if he could continue to do that and prove that he's not an off-the-court headache, I think he could be really good in this league and really good for the Houston Rockets for years to come. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Kevin Porter is the future for the Houston Rockets, or do you think he's too much of a head case and he's gonna fall off? Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Until the next time, peace out, guys.